Okay. All right. So see if you could work out this sum. I won't let you go too far. I'll give you this up to 4, right? R going from 1 to 4 of 2, but 2r squared. Try that for me. 2r squared. Okay. Plenty. If it's mine's here, yeah, just mine. I'll make it print it out. Yeah. 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 So I'm gonna, yeah, well, I'll just go to here. Can we fill this or am I? Okay. Oh, you're not seeing it? 4. Largest value is 4. 1 to 4. One to 4. All right, so let's see what you have. So that'll be 2 by 1 squared plus 2 by 2 squared plus 2 by 3 squared plus 2 by 4 squared, right? So this is 2, 4 squared. 2 squared is 4 by 2, that's 8. 3 squared is 9 by 2, that's 18. Next is 16 multiplied by 2 is 32. Right? How much you all got there? 10, 50, 60. Look at that. 60, right? Okay, so good. So it's important that you could read the summation properly, right? I also want to show you rule number 1, right? What will happen here? If I had R is equal to 1 to 4, let's say I decided to, you'll recognize here that each one of these are being multiplied by 2. You recognize that? So suppose I say, here's what? I'm going to factor out that 2. I'm going to put the 2 on the outside and just leave R squared in here. What will that do to this summation? I'm leaving it 2 on the outside and I'm working out the part inside. So I'll have 1 squared inside, 2 squared, 3 squared, 4 squared. Right? So that will be 1 plus 4. So that'll be 2 by, most likely that's 30, right? Correct? Yeah. So that'll be 6. Same that, same value. So that brings us to rule number 1. Right? Just like log something and indices, it has some rules, right? This brings us to rule Rule 1. Rule 1 says this. If you have a summation of k is a constant, by any sequence, what we could do is pull the k on the outside. Okay? So that's rule number 1. Right? To be honest, you don't always use these rules, huh? I'm just giving you them in case they ask you. Don't like one question that it have this in past papers. But I want you, when you see the summation, to understand what the summation represents, right? And every time I say summation, I'm referring to this notation here. Okay, nice. Let's go again. Right, I'm gonna change it slightly. Summation going from R going from 1 to, let's make it shorter, 3. But I'm giving it this time 3R plus 1. I want to see how you handle that. Right, so you don't get confused. I put in a bracket here, right? Should help you. Try to work out that 3R plus 1, then Nathan is sending the answer. Huh? Message, huh? It's about 3 of them, I think. Got you? Yeah. So y'all got so the first term is what? The first term is 3 by 1 plus 1. Yeah. Oh wait, some of still message in there. Right, Esther. Remember to try to message the next person, right? The host. Right, 3 by 1 plus 1, then 3 by 2 plus 1, and then 3 by 3 plus 1. So that'll give you 3 plus 1 is 4, 6 plus 1 is 7, 9 plus 1 is 10. Okay, so that'll give you 21. But here's what, we could also simplify this a little bit. All right, here's how we could do it. Here's the next way that we could do this, right? And next way we could do this is saying that the summation of R from 1 to 3, we're saying that we can split it up. See that little summation sign in the middle, that addition sign in the middle there, means that we could break it up like this. Right? It means that we can split it into two things, 3R added to 1. Okay? So it could also be written like that. And we could take the 3, watch this here. We could take the 3 and put the 3 on the outside. Right? Leave the R on the inside. And of course, well, we have this one already. So what does that work out to be? That will work out to be 3 by 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus, what does this mean? What does the summation of R going from 1 to 3 of 1? What does that mean? Any guess? What does this here mean? Anybody? Nathan? No guess? Megan? Any guess? Any guess? Right. Just add in 1. There's no R, right? There is no R here. So all we're gonna do is just keep adding 1 3 times. Okay? So you're adding 1 and 1 and 1. Okay? Or as I said, we could make it look a little bit nicer and we could come up with rule number. Well, actually, you have 2 rules in here. And I will show you the 2 rules one time. Oh, wait, we didn't write the answer. So that'll be 6 and 1, 7. No, sorry, 5 and 1, 6. 6 by 3 is 18. 18 plus 3 is 21. Okay, so we have 2 rules here. Right? There's 1 rule here. Let's call this rule number 2. The summation of R going from 1 to any value, let's call it n, of a constant is simply a constant multiplied by n. That's what we did here, multiply 3 by 1. Yeah? Vandina, you say that? Sure. Imran, don't forget to message in next person, right? Message the host. So rule number 2. If you have to find the summation constant, just multiply the constant by the largest number, by the largest value. Okay? Rule number 3, it allowed us to split up here. Rule number 3 is this. If you have the summation of R going from 1 to n of a to the n plus b to the n, which means you have 2 series there, 2 sequences, you can split it up. Okay, so we have 2 rules. There's 1 more rule, but I wouldn't confuse it with that because that never came before, and I'll show you that if you all do pure maths. So those are the 3 rules that we're just going to play around with now, right? Right, Anli, are you okay there? Yeah, okay. I'm Rich, you're waking, right? Oh, yeah, yes. Send my answer. Just checking to make sure you're waking. Somebody in send me now. It was Isaiah. Isaiah sent any answers, boy? Yeah, man. It's not you, Isaiah. Are you okay with this? With the summation notation? Yeah? I didn't give you any in reverse as yet, huh? I'll give you 1 or 2 in reverse in a little while. Okay, let's try next one. But for this one, I don't want to do it the long way, right? I want to break it up. I want to break it up and use the rules. Summation of R going from 1 to 3 of 4R plus 5. downstairs to my place. But go on the next side. Go by the half first. Alright? Go by the half first there. Watch them. And you send them back together. Stop here again. What I said? My photo copy. So right, copy. Work it out the long way, right? Try to break it up and work it out the long way. Megan, let me check out Megan. Megan send anything here? Yeah, I know I was missing one person. It's Megan. All right, how do I fix this thing, right? Oh, okay. You can still send the answers, Megan. I want to ask you for the easy one. Hey, I want to use the board. I want to use this board. Upgrade to what? Anybody confused? Are you okay? Listen, you're not confused at all? Right through you on your phone, boy. Did you get you? What you get? What you get? Add it back up again. Sure. But I want it done the long way, right? How much you get, Nikhil? Yeah. Okay. All right, so let's break it up and see. So that'll be 4 by the summation of r going from 1 to 3 of r plus the summation of r going from 1 to 3 of 5. So this will be 4 by 1 plus 2 plus 3. And so it's 4 by 5 and 1, 6. 3 by 5 is 15. So that's 10. I'll leave out something. Oh, nonsense. I write it. 4 by 6 is 10. 4 by 6 is 24, which is 39. Nice. Okay. All right. So that's the first part of it. Good. I want to. All right. Let me keep it easy for now. Right. Everybody okay here? Elizabeth, you okay with this, right? Sorry, mistake. Got it wrong. Elizabeth, you okay there, right? All right. So that's the first part of it, right? I'm gonna just give you one more and tell me what you get for this value here. Take your time. 3 to the power of minus r. Right? You end up, anyway, I'll talk to you after. I ain't saying anything else yet. Look how easy that is. Take your time, right? You recognize you end up with what? Fractions. So for those who forgot this rule, remember a to the minus n is 1 over a to the power of n. Okay? So once you have that minus in the indices, a fraction. Never see it in your life, eh? First time saying that. Right? So you'll end up with fractions. Right? So you all recognize that you're going to get fractions. It's only messaging here, boy. Sebastian, remember to message on the next message you host, right? So I could see everything. So you should have 3 to the power of minus 1. That's the first term. Then 3 to the power of minus 2 plus 3 to the power of minus 3. Right? 3 to the power of minus 1, that's 1 over 3. Try and leave it as a fraction, right, Talia? This is 1 over 3 squared. This is 1 over 3 cubed. So this is 1 on 3 plus 1 on 9 plus 1 on 27. Right? If you put that in the calculator, you should get 9 and 3 is 12 and 1 is 13. Okay, so I gave you this one to kind of force you to remember what you would have done in indices, right? Right, Severe, good job. Renisha, good job. Amrit, Chloe, Isaiah, Jason, good. Right, some of you should try to come out face to face so I can see what you all look like, yeah? I don't like to sometimes walk in the road and pass out the street. Right, I think I see some all there already though. And I know Elizabeth and Chloe and Annalie. Did I ever see Emret? Aidan, I know Aidan. I think I saw Isaiah once. Renisha. Renisha was cool going to. And Severe. Oh, okay. I know for sure I don't think I saw it before. Right? Are you okay with that? How to write it and how to express it? Yeah? All right. Let me give you one more like that. Right? I want to give you 3 terms, right? I'm going to give you one to confuse up. I don't know. They give you one to confuse up your brain a little bit. All right, try this here. I'm giving you 2 over 3 all to the power of r. Right, try to leave your answer as a fraction, right? All right, let's see what you got. So that'll be 2 over 3 to the power of 1 plus 2 over 3 to the power of 2 plus 2 over 3 plus 2 over 3 cubed. So that'll be 2/3 plus 4/9 plus 8 and 27. right? So most answers are saying is 38 and 27. Yeah, right, good. So we have an idea about this notation. Right, we have a little idea on this notation. Before I show you series and APs and GPs. Tell me what you think about this here, right? Watch this example here. What's the summation of R going from 1 to 4 up to R plus the summation of R going from 5 to 7 of the same thing, 2R? What's that value? What's that value? And then I want you to, in fact, work it out. What answer is that? R going from 1 to 4 to R going from 5 to 7 of 2R. Work out that total value there for me. How much you get? Annalie have 50. So what is the value on top of the second? 7. Sorry. 700. So for those who figured it out, I want you to give me an idea of what you think. I want to write your answer as a summation. How are we doing that? All right, nice. So you should have, what you should have is this, right? You can pull the 2 on the outside. Sorry. You can pull the 2 on the outside and you'll get 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. You can pull the 2 on the outside here and you'll get 5 plus 7. So this is 2 by, this is 10, and this is 12 by 2. So that is 20 plus 24, 44. I don't know why I feel like adding wrong whole it today, we. Did I add wrong again? 5 and 7. Oh, yeah, I'll leave out 6. Very good. Very good, add maths teacher. Leaving out 6. How much is that? 2. So there, yeah. So that is 2 by 11. That's 18. So that's 36. So that's 56. Nice. Everybody got that? So here's my challenge. I don't want this as 2 separate summations. I want it as 1 summation. How are we doing that? Focus on right here. See this? Your answer locked right in there. Focus on that. How you could write it as a summation. Anybody online? If you can't type it, turn on your audio and tell me now. Figure it out. I just pass it on to one, right? If you have it. Very good. Right, let me see if anybody online figure it out. Right, yeah, Imran, that could work, but use it as a summation, right? Good, nice. Good job, Jason. Good job, Cleo. Well, if you use the audio, you know. So that's trying to type out that. But yes, most people saying this. Summation of R going from 1 to 7 up to R. That's excellent. Okay? Right? And you would recognize it here. If you factor out 2, you will see 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7. Okay? That's very good. All right? Anybody confused online? Eden? Hello, okay there? Elizabeth? Venetia? Hello, okay? Holy mess. Hey. Make anyway, all right. Megan on you. Megan, right. Hello, okay? Okay, let's just try one more like this, right? So I'm gonna give you a hard one here now. Same thing I want you to do. Work it out and then tell me how you can represent it as a summation. All right? Anybody writing online? Nobody writing, right? Try this example here for me. R going from 1 to 3 of 4R plus the summation of R going from 3 to 5 of the same 4R. Work it out and see if we can write it as a summation. Actually, it's a summation minus something. Right? It's a summation plus or minus something else, right? But I don't want 2 summation. I want 1 summation and something else. Think about it. Those who are online, what you could also do is take a picture and send it to me, right? If you can't type it out. Right. What do I do with this new? Anybody writing that? I'm just taking it off, right? If you airdrop something, what do I want? They're making this thing worse. Hey, this one here a little bit different, right? You'll recognize that again, you could pull the 4 on the outside, and you'll get 1 plus 2 plus 3. And then you pull the 4 on the outside here, and here's 3 plus 4 plus 5. Okay? If you work it out, you will get 4 by, and in fact, let's pull the 4 out. So you'll get 1 plus 2 plus 3. The problem here is what? You have 3 twice, right? Plus 4 plus 5, right? Let's get the final answer first. So that's 6, 10. So that's 6, 10, 18. Right? And the 4 by 18 was 72. Right, good. So the problem here is that if I wanted to write this as a summation, it would have been perfect except for this. Correct? So what I could do? Take it out. Yeah, we could take it out. But remember, you still have to get 72 in the end. So what you will do? You still have to get 72 in the end using a single summation. What you will do? Change the left. Yeah. Summation of what? Are going from, yeah, that's sounding okay, man. What you can do? Yeah. 1 to 5, okay. 4R, right? And then what? Add back what? Right. So add up 4 by 3. Okay, let's leave it like that. 4 by 3. Okay. So you're adding back on this. So you write the summation like normal and you add back on the extra term that they had. That's okay? All right. Anyway, you wouldn't see it in CSEC. I just give it that because that's something that you seem to keep. I wanted to show it. All right. So basically, it will look like the part in red. But it also shows that you understand this summation notation as well. Okay? All right, so that is it for the summation notation. Now we're going into two progressions or two sequences, AP and GP. All right? Take a 2-minute break, and then we're going to start APs and GPs. Yes, so you can officially go on your phone now. All right, so I'm going to show you something called APs and GPs now. All right, take a few minutes there. Roughly early again. Okay, it was somebody else had to leave early as well. Right, so the recording is under summation, right? Once you follow the intro, all I'm going to do in the rest of the class is just practice obtaining the particular sequences. We're not doing the series part today. Somebody else had to leave early too. Emirates. Oh wait, he leave already. Oh wait, no, it's not Emirates. I see. Can't remember. Huh? Yeah, right. Yeah. She told me. All right, let's start back, right? Okay, so we need to understand what is an AP and what is a GP. All right, so before we do it, let's take a look at a nice example. Okay, these are the two types of sequences that we are going to focus on in advance, right? AP and a GP. Okay. If you have something looking like this, if you have a sequence, right? If your sequence looks something like, you gotta remember the difference between a sequence and a series, right? Sequence is all the consecutive terms, and a series is adding them up. Okay, right? So a simple sequence that we know already. Instead of doing the first one, let's do a different one. Let's add 3. So you'll see 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 3 is 7, plus 3 is 10, plus 3 13. That's an example of an AP, right? What you will recognize here is that each of the values, they keep adding on 3, right? You keep adding, or you keep, well, in some cases, they keep minusing the same value. That's okay? That is what AP will look like. But GP, on the other hand, a little bit different. Right? GP will look like this. What you will have, instead of adding the same value, you're going to multiply the same value. So 1 by 3, that would be 9. Oh, Lord. 1 by 3 is 9. 1 by 3 is 3, right? 3 by 3, that'll be 9. 3 by 9 is 27, and so on, right? That's okay? So once you recognize that each term you have to add the same value to get the next term, then that's a AP. But if you have to multiply, then you have a GP. Okay? So generally, it looks something like this. So generally, AP looks like this. A, then we're going to add something called the common difference. D is your common difference. And then A plus our next D, so that'll be A plus 2D. We add a D again, that'll be A plus 3D. And so on and so on. That's what the AP will look like. GP, on the other hand, generally is A, and you multiply A by what we call the common ratio. Right? So you multiply A by R, and you multiply A by R again. So you get A by R squared, then A by R again, A by R cubed, so on and so on. All right? And that brings us to the formula. Right? That brings us to the formula. Of course, I'm going to ask you to try to figure out what you think that formula is. Look at the AP, look at the GP, look at how it changes. What do you think the formula will be to find any term? Oh, by the way, I forgot to give you what A is, right? A is what you call your first term. Doesn't always be the same. So I'm looking for a little formula that can help me find any term. So this is your first term. This is your second term. This is your third, and this is your fourth. This is your first term, second term, third, and fourth. Right, yes, I'm looking for a little formula to help me out here. Wait, who just message? And Imran just message. Emre just message something. Any ideas? All right, so I'll help you with the harder one. This one here is T to the N is equal to A by R. What you will notice, right? For the first term, R is 0. For the second term, R is 1. For the third term, R is 2. For the fourth term, R is 3. So the formula is A by R to the N minus 1. That's okay? So any term you want, you could use that formula for GP. A by R to the n minus 1. What do you think the formula will be for AP? Very good, Isaiah. One person figure it out. You get it? Think about it. Think about it. Megan, what Megan said there? Close state, Megan. Close state. Right? No? Nikhil? Nazia? All right. Think about it. Well, I'll show you what Isaiah said. Isaiah said A plus n minus 1 by D. Right? Watch it here. And like here, for example, and D is the value in front of D is 1 value smaller than this. Look at here. 2, here's 3, 3, here's 4. So therefore, in front of D is 1 value smaller than this. Okay? Yeah? So that is what you have to learn. You have to learn how to find any term in an AP and any term in a GP. Okay? Okay, on a few things. Copy it down, and let's take a look at how to use it. Right? So all we're doing for the rest of the class is how to use those two formulas. All right? So today you're going to learn about the AP and GP, the general formula, and the summation, right? Right, copy it down, and then let's take a look at how to use it. Ready, write in? Write in, so yeah, go ahead. Okay, so we're going to learn to work it out, right? While you're writing, I just want to show you an example here. So for example, for AP, right? For an AP, with the first term 1 and common difference 3, right? I am going to try to find, if you look back at the original example, I gave you the first 5 terms. I am going to try to find the 6th term, right? So I'm using the formula. The formula is A plus N minus 1 by D. So that'll be 1 plus 5 by 3, which is 16. That's okay? And if you look at the sequence on top, 16 is the missing the term right after 13. You're saying that? Anybody online confused? So I'm using this first term and this common difference here, right? And I plug it into this formula, and it allowed me to find the 6th term. All right? Anybody confused there? Hello, okay online? So just do me a favor for the GP now. For the GP, same first term and same common ratio of 3. See if you could find the term that's missing, the 5th term. Try to find the 5th term there, please. Oh, you come to class, or you come to class, yeah, that's right. But some of them doing labs as well. All right, so what you all got? A by R, remember it's only the R to the power earlier. So it's 3 to the 5 minus 1. So that's 81. Okay? So it's 3 to the, actually, sorry. I wanted to show you it properly, right? So it's 1 multiplied by 3 to the 4. 3 to the 4 is 81. 81 by 1 is 81. All right? So that is your APM GP. What's the main thing to learn? The main thing to learn is this and this, right? How to find any term in an APM GP. If I'm not mistaken, on the front of the sheet, there's give you that, I think. Yeah, I think so. All right. All right, let's go again. Any questions online? Just one more, we stop just now, right? Right, if we have a part A, let's say we have a AP. First term is 4, common differences, try a minus this time. Find the fifth term. Suppose you had a GP now, and you had a first term. Oh yeah, I just want a little favor, right? I'm trying to work on my handwriting. So when it's bad, just tell me. All right? Say it bad. And it wouldn't be insulting. I'm just trying to work on it. Right? But I had to concentrate. If I go on autopilot, it will look like the left hand side there. All right, that's it now. Well, I am right-handed. No, I'm trying to improve on the quality of the. I do never videos now. So I want when you all see the videos, people could who don't know me can understand the handwriting. So I try and I penmanship classes in the night on them. Yeah, but then if my handwriting bad, I still have to go back and fix it. I'll try it and see. I tried once or twice and it was bad, so I had to go back. All right, try T5 and T6 here and we're done, right? Pay attention to what I told you here, AP, GP. So for the GP, no, that's a 6. That's a 6, Imran. For GP, A is 6. Add message. All done? Everybody done? Finish? There's some Mikhail finish in there. Online message answers, don't forget. Elizabeth, check back your GP. Right, Venetia, good job. Isaiah, looking good. Elizabeth, just check back in your GP, right? Chloe, looking good. Megan, check back your AP. Jason, check back your AP as well, right? All right, so let's see what we got. So T5, it will be, remember the formula is A plus N minus 1 by D. So that's 4 by 4 by minus this. So that'll be 4 minus 12, which is minus 8. Everybody get that? Yeah, very good. And T6 now, remember the formula is A by open bracket R to the power of N minus 1. Right, so that's 6 by a half to the power of 5. So that'll be 6 by a half to the power of 5 is 1 on 32, right? So that'll be 6 on 32. Or what? 6 on 32 is the same as 3 over 16. Yeah? Okay? So that's the way you use the formulas for AP and GP. Right? Next day, what we're going to do is we're going to make it a little more complicated, where you will have to, I will tell you the term and you have to figure out what is D or what is A. We're going to make it even more complicated, where I do give you A and D, and you have to solve simultaneously to get A and B. All right? That's what we're going to do next week. And after that, we're going to look at turn it from a sequence into a series, where you're going to add them up now. So we need a formula to add it up. Okay? And that's AP and GP. Okay? All right, online. So that is it for... Okay. Now, really easy,